czars that are unanswerable to anybody except the president.
Mainly corruption. Too many people in government have been interested in what's in it for me.
Income taxes and that were put on the United States here and there. But when they formalized it, institutionalized it, and started with the Fed, they opened a portal, a door. And then it wasn't that one thing, but it was a lot of incremental changes that led us to this point today.
The quest for power for the leaders of the country.
Healthcare is a big issue that we're up here on right now. We're cap and trade wars issues also.
The erosion of our freedoms.
The politicians aren't responsive to what it is we're trying to do.
Our government's getting too big.
Ignorance. People don't take the time to read what our founding fathers said.
It's just our leaders. They're just getting too involved with money, and they're not looking at what the people think.
Patriots Act, which is extremely unconstitutional.
I think the biggest challenge is ignorance. The government takes over a private enterprise.
Our elected representatives are taking our freedoms away from us.
The government has been taken over by the mentality that they should give things away.
Because of the taxes, we have deviated so far off because of the new laws.
The Constitution actually instituted certain parameters that the government should be. Government's totally threw those parameters out the window.
I don't know. Our Congress people don't seem to be reading the Constitution and listening to the people.
We're losing our traditional values. We're losing our rights to property, our speech.
I would say the 16th Amendment, federal income tax, centralized all the money and gave the federal government power over all of the states.
Czars that have come in who seem to be pushing towards eliminating our Second Amendment rights.
Honestly, it's our fault. A big-time lack of involvement.
Our non-representing representatives, I call them that, who have deviated from the Constitution.
Well, the road to hell was paved with good intentions. You know, it started out with someone's very innocent idea of what they would like to do, and it's kind of spiraled out of control.
We're not educated. We don't know where we've come from.
I think it would have to be almost a change of culture.
Term limits is one way. There should be absolutely no pensions for these guys.
I think we have to educate the people.
Get people elected that believe in the original Constitution and the original way the country was set up.
I think they all need to go. I think term limitations would be a really good thing.
Vote. We gotta vote. We gotta call our representatives, and I've done it. They don't listen, so my only alternative is to vote against them.
I think we need to better understand the Constitution. I think we need to educate, understand where our founders, what they originally meant when they wrote the Constitution.
It's got to start, in my mind, it's got to start with acknowledging that there's an outside reality, and his name is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, and that's where your liberty comes from.
Term limits for all of our congressmen and senators. Politicians be responsive to us and not to special interests.
Well, I think it should be a country where the government really does not have a large role.
One of the most important things is that America seems to have been awakened. The average citizen seems to have come out of the slumber that we've been in.
I guess to limit federal income taxes and really states should rely on their own state taxes and decide their own futures.
I think the first step would probably be giving more rights to the states.
Go back to their words. Take every huge big government agency and do away with it.
I just think we need some new leaders, get a new president.
By electing officials who will maintain to those visions, who will maintain to those principles and values that our founding fathers had.
Well, what we need to do is pray and trust God. We need to change the government.
People are starting to awake, especially now, because I think we're so close to the brink. So will we restore it? I don't know. Can we? Definitely, and the proof is in the people around us.
The first thing is, not just education, but being able to relate and communicate the message correctly, and then actually challenge people to be able to go back and read for themselves. We should change the government constitutionally using election.
Well, I guess if the people in the Senate were to read the Constitution and go step by step and do what the Constitution actually tells you to do, it would be great.
Pushing back on the Interstate Commerce Clause and limiting it only to commerce, I think we could push back all of this overbearing government.
Get rid of everybody, have term limits on the Congress, term limits on the House, and let's get back to the basics. 10 Commandments back in the courthouses and prayer back in schools.
The more educated you are, the more you can spot irregularities in what's going on.
I think it's really important that everyone get as involved as possible.
Electing more conservative public officials that that believe in the original Constitution.
Go back to the Bible. Bring everything back to the Bible.
I think you're seeing the way we're going to restore the founders' vision. We're going to take our country back. We've had it with these people.